New Black Wall Street Book Club. Evan Jefferson, brother, much love. Educating, elevating, because in knowledge is the power and we'll never give it up. Literature's for the masses. Where to put your money down, now how to watch your assets. Yeah, uplifting others is a passion. My brother Evan, he will turn it into action. New Black Wall Street Book Club. You should come read with us. Yeah, we comprehend and discuss. Yeah. We all just come together. There's no limit for us. Here comes your host, New Black Wall Street. Evan, take it away. New Black Wall Street Book Club. New Black Wall Street Book Club.
Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, my beautiful black people. This is ERGJ, your certified financial educator, founder of the New Black Wall Street. It's a fabulous Friday. And I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be alive. I'm black and I'm proud. And hopefully you're doing the same thing today on your day. You're going to make the day count. You're going to make sure that you invest in yourself today. You go out, you make sure you have you a pleasing time this weekend as we move into America's holiday, but it's Black Folk Economic Independence Day, by the way. Black Folk Economic Independence Day. It's time for you to free yourself and to finance your own freedom. And one of the things that we're doing to make sure we do that is changing the way that we think. Getting rid of this thinking, getting rid of this we sick boss mentality and moving into a place from poverty to wealth, right by starting with what you put in your membrane. Well, guys, ERGJ, certified financial educator, founder of the New Black Wall Street and the New Black Wall Street Book Club. I want to say good morning to you over at the New Black Wall Street, over at the Atlanta Black Business Network, and also at Black Enterprise. Thanks so much for your support. And if you'd like to interact with us, come on over to the personal page where you can do that. Good morning, Miss Terry Green. How are you? Miss Angela Love, what's going on? AV Knows in the building. Paul Bart training. Mojo Knows is in the house. We can't wait to get that tech book, by the way. Waiting to see what we can do about bringing that over to the ERGJ Black Bookstore. Now, today's episode is actually, as you saw the music by Mr. Conte. If you need a jingle, you need to put some swag into your show. Well, you need to make sure you go ahead and hit Mr. Conte up. Let him know the New Black Wall Street sent you, and he'll make sure that he takes very good care of you. Today, we're going to actually be getting lessons from the richest black man in the world, and that is, oh, okay, no problem. And that's what we're going to actually be going through today, the lessons from the richest black man in the world. And I've actually written a book called The Black Billionaires Club. I don't have all the information up for you this morning, but the book just simply goes through and it helps us to study the richest black people in the world. Now, the interesting thing is, if I were to ask you right now who's the richest black man in the world, you probably don't know. If I was to ask you who the richest black woman in the world, you probably don't know. And I believe that it's important for us to capture our history and to make sure that we share and learn from these economic giants. So the Black Billionaires Club, it is it's actually into print right now. We'll be ready to proof on the 5th, and we'll be ready to actually ship, I anticipate, on the 10th of July. So if it's something that you're interested in learning about the black billionaires of the world, out of 2,000 billionaires in the world today, only 12 of them are black. You want to read their story. You want to understand how they overcame all odds to become economic giants of today. Well, you want to go ahead and pick that book up. Here's the deal. While it's in pre-order, before we go into print, before we hit the shelves, it's $20. Once it gets to the shelf, it's $25. So you got to decide when you want to get it, because I know black folk, we always procrastinate, and we wonder why we got to pay more money for something, because we always wait. Well, you don't want to be the person that waits on a book like this. You don't want to be a person that waits on a book that actually is going to change the black face of wealth, because it's going to begin to change the minds of our youth. And for them to know that all things are truly possible as long as they're willing to work to get it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just putting a link in for you guys to go get the book if you so decide to do that. www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. The Black Billionaires Club. This show is sponsored to you. What's going on, Crystal? Good morning, Latia. How are you? By the ERGJ Black Bazaar, where we're actually bringing African imported products and black-owned products to your doorstep, making it easy for you to practice group economics. You want to be a person that practices what you preach, which is circulating your dollar right back within your very own community, supporting Africa and supporting America. African American is what we're talking about here as we continue to highlight all of the stuff made by us. Yeah, that's it. It's fairly simple. You want to buy black and sell to everybody else. Everybody put that in the comments below. Buy black, sell to everybody else. And that's exactly what these other communities are doing, and how they are coming into our community and actually getting us to buy from them. We shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be supporting them like that. If you really think about it, if you really put some common sense into thinking about the plight of Black America, we don't support ourselves. But yet we complain about not getting support from everybody else. Think about that for a second. We don't support ourselves, but we complain about not getting support from everybody else. And I'm trying to tell you, and I'm going to keep preaching this, is that we have to stop paying attention to the things that we can't control and paying no attention to the things we can. Let me repeat that again. We have to stop paying attention to the things we can't control and paying no attention to the things we can. You can control where you spend your dollar. You may decide not to control it, but you absolutely can control it. Here's a good word for you to use when it comes to people in your community that's getting all your money. No. Very simple. No. But Black folk haven't learned that yet. Black folk will learn how to complain about what everybody else is doing to Black folk instead of complain about what Black folk are not doing for Black folk. In other words, we focus on hate more than we focus on love. We focus on white supremacy more than we do Black or group economics. And until you switch your focus, nothing changes. If nothing changes. Anyway, we'll let you know, Black Bazaar, what we got available to you. We do have the Kenyan dashikis, as you see me with one on. This is the black with no hood. You can get a regular dashiki for $20. If you'd like to get one with the hood, it's going to be $25. Wanted to show you just a couple that you have available to you. You do have it in black, purple, gold, orange, red, blue, and green. I'll show you a few just so you know what you're looking at. And you go ahead and order you a dashiki today, coming straight from Kenya as we do that. So first we'll start with the regular dashikis that you're able to get for $20. You can pick one up, like the one I have on is the black. We do have it available in the orange as well. It's the orange Kenyan regular hooded. I mean, regular with no hood. And then here's the gold. Some of you guys may call it yellow, but it's actually, we have a yellow one, which is brighter. But this is the gold color. This is very hard to get as well. But we do have, I don't know if we have any of these in stock right now, but very hard to get. And then your hooded dashikis, we'll show you a couple of those. Got your hooded dashiki. Here's the hooded dashiki in the red. Get this for $25. You just go over to the ERGJ Black Bazaar, go to the shop section and pick out whatever you want, because there's much other stuff for you to pick out for your shop as well. But you're going to spend your money on Friday anyway, right? You might as well spend it with Black folk. That's what I'm saying. You're going to spend your money anyway. You know what I'm saying? You might as well spend it with Black folk. And then here's the blue in the hood, the hooded dashiki in the blue, straight from Kenya. We do have that available for you as well. So $25 if you want the hood. Matter of fact, just yesterday, it's so funny. I went to go get something to eat. Had on my green hooded dashiki. A brother in the restaurant was like, "Hey, I like that." And I told him, "Great, I know. I'm glad that you like it. I sell it." Next thing you know, I was giving him my card. I was making a sale. So for those that have stuff and your own stuff, shame on you, because you are your own advertising. Everywhere I go, I make money because I advertise my own stuff. And hopefully that's just a business principle for some of you guys that are out there. But nonetheless, let's get right to what we need to talk about today. We're going to do a quick recap on Dangote's 10 Commandments on money. Again, these are lessons from the richest black man in the world. Hopefully by now you've picked up the book. I do not have it in our ERGJ Black bookstore just yet. I'm working to see if I can get some. I got to email the publisher and all that stuff. I don't even know if they still print them. But as we get into our recap, let's start with commandment number 1. Let's go back to commandment number 1. We're going to play catch up, and then we'll read through the rest of commandment number 8. Everybody put in the comments below, Financial Friday. Financial Friday. We're going to learn about money today. So the richest black man in the world, his first commandment that he gave out was, he said, go into business for which you have a passion. Now, this is a very debatable topic, but I'm saying if the richest black man in the world telling me I need to go into business and something I have a passion for, then I'm just going to believe the richest black man in the world, okay? I'm not going to believe people that's broke, busted, and disgusted telling me what they think I should do. I'm going to go and listen to wisdom from somebody who happens to be the richest person in the world, richest black person in the world, okay? So he says, go into business for which you have a passion. And here's the deal. The reason why he's saying passion is because in business, you're going to go through hills and valleys. When you're on the hill, everything feels great. You have no issues. You are riding high. But it's when you get in the valley, in the cycle of business, that you need your passion to carry you through. I'll repeat that again. It's when you get in the valley, in the cycle of business, that you need your passion to carry you through. See, when you don't have passion and you run into tough times, it's easy to quit. Invested in it as far as your whole self. But when you have passion, you don't quit. Because you understand that there is that joy comes in the morning, that there is something brighter on the other side of whatever you are persevering through. And you actually have, it helps to build your resolve. See, go into business for something for which you have passion for. Commandment number 2, he said, was this. He said to start small. Start small. In other words, start from where you are. Start small. It's okay to think big and to dream big, but start small. Repeat that again. It's okay to dream big, have big dreams, but start small. And the problem is most people don't get started at all because they're thinking about how big their dream is instead of the next step, instead of the first step. Start small. Here's another thing that we learned about starting small. When you start small, you can get quick wins. Everybody put that in the comments below. If I start small, I can get quick wins. See, a quick win is important because it lets you know that on your journey towards your big dream. And I don't know about you, but every win that I get, it just gives me more confidence in my journey. Let me say that again. Every win that I get. See, along this journey, you're going to hear a whole bunch of no's. No, 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 no. You're going to hear a whole bunch of no's. People that don't want your stuff, they're not interested in what you're selling. They're not interested in your service or your product. They're just not interested. No, no, no. But how many guys know that of all the no's that you hear, it only takes one yes? That's right. Out of all the no's that you hear, it only takes one yes. And that one yes is a quick win. It's that one yes that you hang on, that you think about, that you appreciate. You're like, man, the whole day, I got 1,000 no's and I got one yes. And guess what I remember? The one yes. I remember the customer that believed in my product or service, that was willing to give us a try, and I made sure that I served them the right way. See, start small helps you to get quick wins. But when you start big, this big lofty goal of yours, and you fall on your face, it almost makes you not want to try again. The richest black man in the world says to start small. Commandment number 3, he said, was to sell cheap, to give quality, and don't kill the competition. What do we learn here? We learn that competition is good. That's right. You don't want to be the only person in your market. You do want to dominate, but you still want to have competition. In other words, when you get to number 1, and number 1 you shall, you're still going to have people that's trying to overtake your spot, because once you get to number 1, there's only one place to go. So competition keeps you on your toes. It keeps you learning more. It keeps you working on your process. It keeps you looking for more efficiency. It keeps you keeping on. When you don't have competition, when you leave, when the competition leaves, you tend to get a little bit complacent. You think that you won. You think that you've arrived. But competition keeps you on your toes, and it helps you to get better. Everybody put it down, go get better. Competition helps you to get better. And here's the premise. It's okay to compete. Matter of fact, it's fun to compete. What would it look like if you're on the baseball field and you didn't have an opponent? What would it look like if you're playing basketball all by yourself? What would it look like if you were scoring touchdowns and you didn't have any defense to keep you from the goal line? Competition is good because it helps you to get better. And each and every day, my beautiful black people, you need to be getting better. Each and every day, my beautiful black people, there's this thing called evolving or evolution. And if you don't evolve, the world is going to leave you behind, because the world is evolving. every day. And if you're not, my question is, why not? Why are you not evolving, getting better every day? Why are you not investing in yourself and in your business every day? Don't you understand that as you invest a small seed into you, that can bring a much bigger harvest than anything else that you can invest in? Invest in you. Believe in you. Trust in you. You are a wonderful, phenomenal, well-built specimen. And I'm trying to tell you, if you just invest in you, in other words, if you get out of your own damn way, you will succeed. But part of that is what's going on up here. Part of that is what you think about all day long. What is it that you're thinking about? Commandment number 4, he says this: no substitute for hard work. Hard work, people. Now, the good old book tells us that a little sleeping of the, a little folding of the hands, a little sleeping, a little extra sleep, a little, what is it, Robert? A little folding of the hands, a little extra sleep, a little slumber. Basically, it says that being lazy is going to lead you to poverty. Okay, I can't remember the whole quote. I mean, the whole scripture. But at any rate, being lazy, folding your hands, hitting that snooze alarm all day, right? It's going to lead you to poverty. You got to get up and go to work, right? Faith without works is dead. You got all the belief, but you got no physical work behind your belief. In other words, it doesn't show up. It shows up in your conversation. It doesn't show up in your behavior. Huh? Go to the ant, you sluggard. Don't be lazy. Too many black folk. For some reason, I don't know why you believe your journey towards your pot of gold that you don't have to work. Why is it that you're always trying to choose the easy way? And here's the principle. If you want your life to be easy, then you do what's hard. But if you want your life to be hard, then you do what's easy. And unfortunately, in our community, too many black folk are choosing what's easy. It's easy to go into debt. It's easy to borrow money. It's hard to pay it back. It's easy to borrow money. It's easy to go into debt. It's hard to pay it back. If you don't believe me, student loans. You don't believe me? Student loans. Mortgaging your future, or the possibility or the belief in your future. Mortgaging it for today. Do you see the sick and twisted world that has conditioned our mind to believe that we know our future and you don't? Tomorrow's not promised, but just you'll mortgage it. For some semblance of understanding today or knowledge today, or whatever the case may be. Man, I'm trying to tell you, hard work. Now, here's the deal. Hard work is more than just physical labor. Hard work is also mental labor. It's what you decide to do on your own, or teach yourself, or educate yourself, or you know what I'm saying? It's what you decide to do in your own time. We all have the same 24 hours. The difference between me and you is what we do with our 24 hours, what we choose to do with our 24 hours. And there's been studies that show that black folk choose TV 4 hours out of the day at least. That's a choice. I don't know about you, but 4 hours times my rate of $300 an hour, that's $1,200. And how much did you make watching TV? So here we go, Robert. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So thou shalt poverty come upon you like a traveler, and thy want as an armed man. The 5th commandment, which I absolutely love, was this: catch me if you can. Adopt a catch me if you can policy, or business policy. Don't be in business just to add to the numbers. Everybody put the comments on catch me if you can. When I read this, I was thinking to myself, man, that's my future self. Those are my goals. Matter of fact, I want you to think about right now. I want you to think about your goals. I want you to think about your aspirations. And I want you to think about your dreams. Right? Think about it right now. You say, and right now, you imagine what it is that you want to do in the future, what it is that you want to accomplish, what it is that you want to develop. Now think about your business goals, whatever it is. Whatever it is that came into your mind, you're saying 10, 15, 20 years from now, for me, for example, is the Black Money School. That is my goal. The Black Money School, it must be built. But every time I think about the Black Money School, guess what it's saying to me? Catch me if you can. Every time I think about my dreams as I go to bed at night, guess what my dreams are saying to me? Catch me if you can. As I think about the person that I am becoming every day, my future self is looking back at me saying, catch me if you can. Catch me if you can. Now think about that for a second. Catch me if you can. So Bessie says, nothing wrong with watching TV every now and then. We're not saying that. We're saying studies show that 4 to 7 hours every day TV is being watched by Black folk, the #1 consumer in the world. And every now and then, it's not 4 to 7 hours every day. Every now and then, oh, something good came on, let me watch it real quick, whatever the case may be. But sometimes you got to get rid of everything in order to loose yourself from the control that this television has on you. See, we understand that television, the whole purpose of television, it was meant to suck you in. They even talk about how the signals from the television and what it does to your eyes. There's a whole study on the psychology of television, right? And it's not just TV. I'm talking about anything like that. Your phone that you watch, you do YouTube, the games that you play. We can talk about all this stuff that people are using and wasting time, thinking that they have more time. We just use television as an example because that's one of the biggest time wasters in people's lives. They see nothing wrong with it, but while they're sitting there watching the idiot box, while they're sitting there watching imagery that puts a negative image on their people, while they're sitting there watching filth, while they're sitting there watching murder and dysfunction, while they're sitting there watching all prove their mentality, everybody else is getting rich. Let me repeat that again. While they're sitting there 4 to 7 hours every day, watching something that is not made by Black folk, watching something that does not improve the lives of Black folk, watching something that does nothing but put them down, add more dysfunction, add more hate, add more of nothing that you want in your life to your mentality. While they're doing that for 4 to 7 hours every day, they're making everybody else rich. You see? Making everybody else rich. Do you see any? See, even the Spanish, even the Mexicans, they have their own network from their own people. Their own networks by their own people, so they control the programming. Black folk watch television that's being controlled. The program is being controlled by their master. And they see nothing wrong with that. I'm sitting here watching Fox. I hate Rupert Murdoch, but I watch Fox because a good show comes on and I put more money into the hands of the man that I absolutely hate. We see nothing wrong with that. See, we finance white supremacy by our actions, but we hate white supremacy with our conversation. And I continue to tell you, and I'm going to teach this probably to the day that I die, that interest shows up in conversation, but commitment shows up in behavior. And unfortunately, Black folk are not committed to smashing and destroying white supremacy. They're not committed to it. They'll talk about it all day long, but then when you put it in this context, you hate Rupert Murdoch. You know that he made a movie about Egypt that didn't have Black folk in it, but yet you still watch his channel, that he controls the programming. Isn't that interesting? Think about that for a second. We sick, boss. I'm sorry, you don't make me go. I've been doing studies on this stuff. Oh, anyway, catch me if you can. Now, here's the deal. I teach this as well as a pretty simple slogan. As you think about your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, as you think about the things that you want to accomplish in life, and it's saying back to you right now, catch me if you can. I want you to understand this. In order for you to have the things of your dreams, repeat that again, because normally you're thinking about something, you want something. In order for you to have the things of your dreams, all this tangible stuff, whatever it is that you want to build, in order for you to have the things of your dreams, you must become the person of your dreams. In other words, development. In order for you to have the things of your dreams, you must become the person of your dreams. Most of you guys are not that person yet. That's okay, because you are developing into the person that can actually acquire all the things that you dream about. In other words, you must grow. You must mature. You must get better. You must get wiser. You must evolve. Catch me if you can. And then we moved on. Where we at now? Where we at now? What was that? Number 5. Number 6. He says this, the richest black man in the world says, being number 6, you want to be law-abiding. Don't fight the government. Now, isn't this interesting? Be law-abiding. Don't fight the government. Basically, what he's saying is, learn the rules, play by the rules, and then manipulate the rules into your favor. Let me say that again. Learn the rules. You can't be law-abiding if you don't learn the law. You can't do better on your taxes if you don't understand tax law. Okay? You can't, you know what I'm saying? So don't try to fight something of which you don't understand. You got to first understand it, learn about it, then you can fight it from within itself. See, when you don't know your rule, when you don't know what your rights are, how can you stand and fight for those rights when someone comes against your rights? But when you understand your rights, like Dr. Sebi did when he won his own case in court, like for Laurenta Alakiza, who is the 3rd richest black person in the world, did when she went to go get back her money that the government tried to take from her. So y'all don't know these stories, but they're in the book. When you know your rights and you know the laws of the land, you can play by the rules, and then you can manipulate the rules into your favor. This is what rich people do. They manipulate tax laws into their favor so they don't pay much tax. You get it? It's called a strategy. It's called a strategy. Their strategy isn't to protest. Their strategy isn't to march. Their strategy isn't to rally. You never see Asians rally. You never see Arabs protesting. You never see it. Only black folk. And maybe some of these gay pride, and you've seen the Mexicans do it every now and then. But they use strategy within the laws to make the laws work for them. But we don't know the laws. We won't connect with these black lawyers that's in our community and understand the laws better, or lean on them if that's their expertise. We understand insurance laws or tax laws, all these things that's been written for everybody that's a citizen to abide by. But when you know the laws, you'll learn how to manipulate them into your favor. Laws can be bent, right? They can be bent. It's all about how you word them, how you talk about them, they can be bent. But you got to know them. So he says don't fight the government. You can't win against the government. You can't win. That's not a winning battle. It's not a winning battle. All right, number 7. What's going on? We got 13 people watching right now, wherever you may be. And if you haven't said good morning, by the way, shame on you for being so not so courteous. This is a Financial Friday, New Black Wall Street Book Club, black folk loving on black folk, and you ain't said good morning yet. Something wrong with you. Good morning. How are you? Make it a fabulous Friday. Let's just be courteous to one another. Good morning. Thank you so much. I'm telling you, my goodness. Jeez. Come up on this stream, don't say good morning. What's wrong with you? Huh? What's wrong with you this morning? Can't type good morning. Oh, yeah. 7th commandment. Number 7, he says this: go into manufacturing. Go into manufacturing. Now, this is the interesting piece here because I always attribute it to this when I talking about the t-shirt business. We know how to make designs for the t-shirt. Thank you so much, Erica. Good morning. Donovan, Mr. King, good morning. Says go into manufacturing. Says that is where you can actually rebuild your economy. Black folk is getting into manufacturing the stuff that you want to use or buy or whatever, or sell, creating it, not importing it from China, right? Not importing it from China, bringing it from China, putting your label on it and saying that it's yours. No, that's not manufacturing. That's importing. That's importing. And when you import, you give China more jobs. But when you manufacture, you give your own people more jobs. And I want to put this charge out to every black business owner right now. You may not be there right now. Sure, Don, if you're watching, you got to get into making the t-shirts eventually at some point. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you got to create it. Now, I know you're doing well with what you're doing, but at some point you want to actually create, you want to control the whole vertical. What is the vertical? From manufacturing to distribution, that is the vertical. From manufacturing to distribution, everything along the way, we got to start controlling that stuff. We got to start creating that stuff. We got to start getting the manufacturing machines and the buildings and all that stuff. Because once you become the manufacturer, then you can sell to everybody else. Create jobs for your own people. Build your own little economy. And that is the piece that we're missing. Manufacturing. Now, we'll complain, start talking about how much it costs, but you can work your way up to it the same way that the richest black man in the world worked up to it. He started in trade. And then slowly but surely, money started coming in. And then next thing you know, he leveled up. And he got into manufacturing. And he has one of the biggest groups, black groups in the world. There's nothing wrong with using a black-owned manufacturer if you can find them. That's the problem, finding them. Yeah, that's the problem. All right, so now we move into, we're on number 8, I believe, which is believe in Nigeria, or I actually say believe in black folk. Everybody put in the comments, believe in black folk. You got to believe in your own people. We'll pick up where we left off at yesterday. I believe I was here. Yes. Let's pick up here. Said, though I didn't raise my objection to his statement, I told myself that at my age, I didn't need to be told that food is a very strong weapon of war. Apart from how, let's go back here. Let's go back. Let's go back. I'm sorry. All right, here we go. Believe in black folk. As he was talking again, excitement all over him. He had fallen to the ranks. His eyes were gleaming as I was looking at him. I began to see in my mind's eye the picture of Martin Luther King Jr.'s in Madison Square Garden or Madison Garden in 1968 when he was talking about his dreams for blacks in America. I realized 40 years after when Barack Obama became the first black president of the United States of America. My teacher was pouring out his belief in the great potentials of Nigeria, or the great potentials of black folk. The belief was so strong that it permeated both his conscious and subconscious, thus coming out almost unconsciously anytime he opened his mouth. Let me ask you this, people. As you think about what it is that you want to do, as you think about it, as you think about the things that you want to bring to this world, is it so ingrained in you that your belief is so strong that it permeates your conscious and your subconscious, and it almost unconsciously comes out of your mouth anytime you open your mouth? Do you have that type of belief? I like to call it crazy faith. Everybody put in comments on crazy faith. See, crazy faith. Because I got crazy faith. I just that the routes that I'm looking to take with my business are just going to work because my people are going to support my people. I just believe there's no way that I'm going to put my book on Amazon. Why? Because I believe in my people. There's no way that Barnes & Noble is going to go any of this black money. Why? Because I believe in my people. I just got crazy faith. Call me crazy, call me insane, but I just believe in black folk. And that's just what we're going to do. I don't care what you guys, your thoughts, your ideas, your suggestions. I'm not here for money. I am here for my people. And I've been called to help my people and to save my people from themselves and their stinking thinking. I know what I'm here for. Crazy faith. Every time I open my mouth, I'm talking about black folk. So I'm not done yet, he said, indicating that the lesson had resumed. Apart from solid minerals, see, we have agriculture. There are things that can be much bigger than oil if harnessed to the fullest. Now tell me, which country in the world that can boast of all of this? The answer is none, but Nigeria. Japan is a super economy, but do you know the cost of a square meter of land there? Land is so expensive that they cannot even use it to bury their dead. To them, it is a huge economic waste to bury somebody. That's why they cremate their dead. But here we have everything in abundance. We should be grateful to God for creating us Nigerians. Personally, I would not have wished to be created a citizen of any other country. He believes in Nigeria. I feel the same way too, I said, interrupting him. Twice my schoolmates have brought American Visa lottery form for me to fill, but twice I refused. My argument has been that I don't know what I would go to America to do because it's already developed. But Nigeria, being a developed country, there are a lot of things that I can do here. My teacher flashed his trademark smile and said, "That's my boy." Nigerians are dying to travel abroad when they feel that there are opportunities. But the irony of it all is that people from those countries they are dying to go too. Come here empty-handed, and within a few years, they will become millionaires in dollars. Right now, some people are complaining that the Asians are all over the place in Nigeria. But the question that I want to ask is, why won't they be? Nigerians have despised Nigeria. Black folk have despised Black America. They see nothing good in black folk, and they want to run away from it. But the Asians have seen great potentials and are coming in large numbers to tap them, and Nigerians are complaining. Think about this, people. This is the richest black man in the world talking about Nigeria, which happens to be filled with black folk, and the same connotation travels across the globe. They see nothing good in Nigeria. Black folks see nothing good in black folk, and they want to run away from it. But the Asians come into our neighborhoods, and they see great potential and are coming in large numbers to tap into that potential. And guess what? Black folk are complaining. The Asians did not chase any Nigerians away from Nigeria. The Asians did not chase black folk from black folk communities. They didn't take anybody's business. They are just tapping into the potentials that they see in Black America. See, this is why I say that we complain, blame, and all this stuff, what other people are doing, but we cast no blame on ourselves for what we are not doing. We're not building our own businesses in our own neighborhoods. We're not buying our own property in our own neighborhoods. We're not beautifying our own neighborhoods. But we'll complain about everybody else coming into our neighborhoods, places that we called home, places that we grew up in, places that we didn't build no infrastructure, places that we built no banks, places that we built no grocery stores, places that we built no schools, places that we built nothing. And we'll complain about what they're doing in our communities because they see potential where we do not. We don't believe in ourselves. That's why it's so easy for us to blame everybody else for our condition. We sick, boss. They're just tapping into the potential they see in Nigeria, which Nigerians, the owners of the land, are too blind to see. Take a look at the food industry in the countries today. The Asians are in control. You know that the hierarchy of basic needs of man, food is number one. And this industry is controlled by foreigners. You may be too young to understand the implications of this. Though I didn't raise any objection to the statement, I told myself that at my age, I didn't need to be told that food is a very strong weapon of war. Apart from how the biblical Jacob used food to take the birthright of his elder brother Esau, I'm also aware that the man with food is stronger than the soldier with all the weapons of the world, because once the soldiers are cut off from the food supply, after a while they will have only two options, either to commit suicide or surrender. I have also learned that it was food aid that the United States used to bring the United Union of Soviet Socialist Republics to its knees after the Chernobyl nuclear disaster in 1984. Resuming the lesson, my teacher said, Nigerians are complaining that the cost of running generators is too high. That I know. But the fact is that the Asians are doing business in Nigeria with generators just as we do. We're all buying diesel from the same market. Nigerians are also complaining of the poor state of the roads. Again, the Asians don't have separate roads in Nigeria. We all drive on the same road. So the vital question is, what are those things that they do to keep their companies running that Nigerian or Black entrepreneurs do not do? Here's the question that you got to ask yourself today. I want everybody to put this in the comments below. When you think about your dreams, you think about your goals, you think about the things that you're looking to build and bring value to the marketplace, what is it that you are not doing? That's the question. What is it that you are not doing? Here's a question I want you to ask yourself this weekend and really, really get into it, because once you start asking the right questions, you start getting the right answers. What is it that I'm not doing? If you find yourself right now not having the level of success that you want in life, ask yourself, what is it that I'm not doing? If you think about your business right now, you feel like I've been in business for this long and I still haven't increased my customer base. I'm still having trouble somewhere. Ask yourself, what is it that I'm not doing? Because if this person over here, this Asian, this Arab, this Jew, whatever the case may be, they could be having success in the same field that I'm in. And I understand as a Black person, I'm here to dominate, and I'm having issues. I'm having troubles. I'm having some stumbling blocks and some obstacles. What the hell is it that I'm not doing? See, what most of us do, we start focusing on what they are doing instead of what we're not doing. What is it that I am not doing to have the level of success that I dream about, that I know is possible for me? See, when you start asking questions like this, you start to find answers. Here's what you're not doing. See, the universe starts to show you, here's what you can do to improve. Because you asked the right question. See, you're going to get answers to your questions. It's just a universal law. Ask and you shall receive. But the question is, are you asking the right question? The right answers. What is it that I am not doing? If you woke up today and you're saying to yourself, Black folk don't support Black folk. I get out and I can't never get Black folk to buy my stuff. Ask yourself, what is it that I am not doing? Always, how you gonna blame the customer when you need to be looking at what it is that you can do to attract that customer? What is it that I am not doing? Woo! I raised my hand and said, I know, sir. What is it? My teacher asked, apparently surprised. I knew that the question he asked was not meant for me to answer, but I decided to tell him one thing that I've observed about the Asians in Nigeria. One thing that I've observed about the Asians in the Black community. They're not religious, I said. On Sunday, when the Christians are going to church, they will be in their factories working. On Fridays, when Muslims are going to the mosque, they will be in their factories working. The time you spend praying every day, they use it working. Again, in their factory, they do not welcome visitors. It is work work, work, and no play. If you multiply all the hours that we Nigerians spent in churches and mosques in a year, but which they spend working, you will see why they are ahead of us. Now, I didn't write this, okay? But this is what the little apprentice said. Now, here's his teacher. The teacher shook his head and said, I don't want you to think that Nigerians are wasting time praying in the churches and mosques. You should know that whatever we are doing, we need God. The main reason that Asians are flourishing in Nigeria is because they believe that there are opportunities and they are exploiting them. If you believe in something, you would have the zeal to exploit it. If you believe in something, you would have the zeal to exploit it. Now, this is the rich man talking. This is almost like Rich Dad Poor Dad, the black version. That's why it's like the black version of Rich Dad Poor Dad. Okay. He said, if you believed in something, you would have the zeal to exploit it. Now listen. Robert, if you're still here, can you look up the word exploit? He said, if you really believed in something, you would have the zeal or the gusto or the passion or the energy or the forwithal to exploit it. This is a guy in Nigeria, not America, that's saying this. This is the richest black man in the world that's saying this. If you believed in something, then you would have the zeal to take advantage of what you believe in. Wow. Woo. On the other hand, if you don't believe in something, nothing will motivate you into action. I feel that the major problem with Nigeria is despondency with regard to Nigeria. But that worries me still because I've traveled the world and I've not seen any country that can be compared with Nigeria. Most of the countries that pride themselves as super economies or superpowers are not half blessed as Nigeria. Nigeria is the only country in the world without a natural minus. America is blessed, but it has hurricanes. Japan is blessed, but it has earthquakes. You can go on and on. Nigeria, every state has sufficient natural resources to be self-sustaining. Most of the landmark achievements in this country today were made from a revenue from agriculture. We used to have groundnut pyramids in Kano, 10 and just, cocoa in the west, palm oil in the east, rubber in the defunct Bendel state. All that is now history. State governors have turned to beggars, and at the end of every month, they would troop to Abuja to collect allocation from the federal account, while the land that was yielding the groundnut, cocoa, and palm oil had not been swept away, but it is still there. The question is, why can't we exploit the resources for the benefit of our people? Why can't we exploit? Why can't we make purpose of deriving a benefit? Why can't we make full use of these resources? Why can't we take advantage of what we have to benefit our people? Now, the number one resource that I really want you to think about or consider is not the natural resources. The number one resource that me and you, all of us have, that are right here, right now, the number one resource that you have is your mind. Why can't you make full use of your mind? Why can't you take full advantage of your mind? Why can't you use your mind for the purpose of deriving a benefit for your people? We're going to stop right there, because I think it's high time for black folk to use their mind. There's a lot of solutions up there that's waiting to be extracted. There's a lot of plans. There's a lot of roadmaps. There's a lot of blueprints that's up here waiting to be extracted. But you can't extract something from inside of yourself if you're distracted from everything that's outside of yourself. I'll repeat that again. You can't extract inside of yourself if you're distracted by everything that's outside of yourself. I think a good challenge or a good lesson or a good homework for you tonight is to really think about all the things that you might be distracted with, all the things that take up space in your mind that were never meant to live there. They weren't even meant to visit. Think about all the things that captivate your emotions that was never meant to live there. Matter of fact, it was never even meant to visit. But you never closed the door. You just left the door wide open after you came in, and now you got strangers entering into your house. The house of your heart, the house of your mind, and they're trying to get to the house of your soul. I don't know who I'm talking to today, and I don't know where you might be, but you must extract everything that you need from the inside of your very self, your heart, your mind, and your soul. Here's the reason why the Bible says to love the Lord your God with everything that you have, with your whole heart, with your whole mind, and with your whole soul. Because that is the very essence of where all of the miracles actually come from. Well, my beautiful people, at this time, I'd like for you to write in the comments below what you learned today. Because these are lessons from richest black man in the world. And I believe that there's an exchange that takes place because money is the exchange of value for value. So the exchange that you give is the exchange of the lesson that you learn. Because this is not a time to entertain you. This is a time to empower you. And the richest black man in the world has written a book for us to gain some lessons from him today. So at this time, I'd like for you to write in the comments below, what's your takeaway? What did you learn today? Because you're going to learn today, as Kevin Hart says. What did you learn? What was valuable for you taking the time to be here this morning to grab some nuggets from the richest black man in the world? And as you guys do that, I'll share some of my credits to make sure that I know you guys, I talk faster than you type, but what did you learn today? What is your takeaway that you're moving away into the weekend with? Of course, it's Dangote's 10 Commandments on Money. And also, once you go over to the Black Bazaar, ERGJ Black Bazaar on Facebook, go ahead and like the page, follow the page, and leave a review. See, that review is a way of you saying thank you, ERGJ, for being consistent, waking up every morning, sharing with us some things that we may not have found by ourselves. Just the New Black Wall Street Book Club. What is this doing for you? See, that I just believe that we do want to read. We do want to get these nuggets of wisdom, and I decided I was going to create something for it. And I believe that you got something inside of you that you need to create that's going to benefit your people. And I just hope times like this are a benefit to you. That's the reason why I do it. That's the only reason. I can sit here and read this book all by myself, which I normally do. But I said I want to share reading with my people, and that's exactly what we do. Why? Because I believe in black folk. I believe. Call me as crazy as you want, but I believe in my own people, and I'll die believing in my own people. Go ahead and check out ERGJ Black Bazaar. Pick you up a dashiki as well. I mentioned to you, got the regular dashikis for $20. If you want a hooded dashiki, you can pick that up for $25. But that's what we do, bringing bringing African imported products and black-owned products, making it easy to practice group economics, because we're going to deliver it to your doorstep. You're going to have no reason why you're not supporting your own, no matter where you are. You can say, I don't have a store and all this stuff and whatever. But we got the power of the internet to get you your stuff. That's exactly what we're going to do. So it's got some feedback here. It says, what we say here? The heart, the mind, soul. Melanie says, lesson learned. I need to focus, truly focus wholeheartedly. Ms. Knowles said, I learned that it's time to recap my plan. That's right on, brother. Ms. Plant said, we have a long way to go, but it will all be worth it. Ms. Melly Jones said, clear my mind. Absolutely. Ms. Padmore said, we don't seem to see opportunity within our community and our country while other people do. Mel said, I do too. I believe in black folk. And the distractions are taking me off course. That's right. You want to get back into yourself, get back on your road to prosperity, and just That's why you see me block people. That's why you see me just get rid of them. I have no remorse for kicking people out of my life that are nothing but a distraction. And you got to start to recognize people. I can tell you all day long, but you got to start recognizing the distractions that are in your life. You got to start, why is this person taking up so much time and my energy in my life, in my mind? Why am I thinking about all this foolishness? Let me get this person just out of my life. I know it's hard to do, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. Start kicking people out of your life that's not helping you to progress, that's not helping you to stay on track, that's just pulling you away. That they don't know, they're not doing it on purpose, because we know it's the spirit within them, not the person itself. Kick them people out of your life and let them watch you shine. And I'm telling you, it's going to be one of the biggest decisions that you've made to stay on track and get you towards a place of massive success and exponential growth in the end by the last 6 months of this year. You got to get rid of folk. You understand that? You have to get rid of folk. Declutter my mind and take steps toward the vision of my dreams and goals. That's her takeaway. Well, guys, this is ERGJ, a certified financial educator, founder of the New Black Wall Street and the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Wealth is a mindset, Mr. Stewart. That's right. Wealth is a mindset. You must be wealthy in your mind long before you're wealthy in your wallet. And I want you to do this, guys. I want you to empty your wallet to fill your mind. And then later, you'll be able to empty your mind to fill your wallet. Well, remember this, guys. It takes a village, and it starts with us. Let's build Black wealth together. Have a fabulous Friday and a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you soon.
It's the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Wall Street with your host, Evan Jefferson. Evan Jefferson. It's time for us to go. Yeah. Now, you ain't got to leave the computer, but we encourage you to get out there and learn and apply all the things you learn at the New Black Wall Street Book Club.